former defensive tackle Pat Sims from the Bengals, and former Broncos linebacker Jason Hunter. You really didn't see much of him last season because he did sit out with some injuries. Um, Also, they got Browns linebacker Kaluka Maeavu. He obviously is going to be the complementary piece that replaced Philip Wheeler that went to the Dolphins. So I think this is a good look for the Raiders. Right now I really don't expect them to do too much, especially with what Kansas City has done and Denver. I look for those two to be the odds-on favorites to winning the AFC West. I still pick Denver to win it, but if you want to look at the second best team in the AFC West right now, I would say Kansas City. So the Raiders are definitely rebuilding their franchise. It's pretty clear what Reggie McKenzie is doing by releasing a lot of players, getting extra cap space. So the Raiders aren't far behind, but I still believe it's a work in progress. So with the additions that they have on defense, I think that's going to be pretty well. They were 28th in scoring defense, and I believe 18th, I want to say, in total defense. So I'm thinking that the Raiders, they're not far behind. Maybe next season they'll improve once the cap issues, and hopefully if they can keep Palmer and get him to restructure his contract, that can work as well. But we'll just have to see. My other winners, the Arizona Cardinals. Big pickup with Joshua Cribbs from the Cleveland Browns. They signed him, and I think that's going to be a steal for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, not the Cleveland Browns, but the Arizona Cardinals. So, if they have a complementary piece to go along with Fitzgerald, that's going to be good. Probably take some of the heat off Fitzgerald. But now what they're going to have to do is look at the quarterback situation. Obviously, I heard today on NFL.com, read it today, that the Cardinals are fixing to part ways with Kevin Cobb. So I don't know if they're going to get a quarterback through the draft, possibly Geno Smith. But, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Next is the 49ers. As of right now, their big free agent signee was Glenn Dorsey, former defensive tackle / right end to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Glenn Dorsey, big defensive tackle, came from LSU. So that's going to be added star to the already stout and star-studded defense of the 49ers. They've also been in talks with Nnamdi Asomugha and Charles Woodson because they just lost safety Deshaun Golston to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who signed a 5-year, $41.25 million contract. So at least I think 22 of that is guaranteed. So right now they are in dire need of a safety. And, if they get a corner, then that would be good as well. But I'm interested to see what the 49ers do in these last days, today and tomorrow, going into free agency, to see if they actually do sign any corner, Nnamdi or Charles Woodson. Because if they do, look out, NFL. That is like the rich getting richer. So look out for the 49ers to be a dominant, huge threat. So I don't think they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover, at least with the guys that they have on their roster. Now, of course, you've heard me talk about the teams that did do well in free agency. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the available free agents that are left in free agency. Like I said, there's still a few top players out there that if they get on the right team that's especially a contender for the right price tag, this NFL season can only get better. So let's take a look at that right now. All right, we got my top free agents still available. Of course, wide receiver Greg Jennings. He hasn't heard anything, but the last time I looked, the only two teams that are interested right now, the Browns are out of it, the Vikings and the Packers. Well, I read on the Bleacher Report that the Packers were currently offering him $10 million a season. So I don't know how far they are on money right now, but look for those two teams. Of course, the Vikings, they just lost Percy Harvin, so look for them to go and get younger wide receivers in the draft. And if they did get Greg Jennings, that would be an additional piece that would complement Christian Ponder and as well as their running back, Adrian Peterson. So look to see. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another big piece, safety Ed Reed. He's right now visiting the Texans today, so we don't know what's going to happen with Ed Reed. If Baltimore can save him, then hey, hopefully they can, especially since they lost out on Dannell Ellerbe and re-signing some of their top guys. So I say the Ravens do need to at least save a few pieces of that Super Bowl team because right now they're looking really, really scale right now. So I don't see them repeating anytime soon, and I think they're probably going to regret this season, if they don't sign some of their guys that they had on the Super Bowl run. Like I said before, Jake Long, it's interesting about Jake Long. I've been hearing that he did take a physical for the St. Louis Rams. So if he does get the chance to sign with the St. Louis Rams will have two of the number 1 and 2 picks in I believe it was the 2008 NFL Draft. Of course, I'm talking about Jake Long and Chris Long. Chris Long is also the defensive end that plays with the St. Louis Rams right now. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, they do not have any relation. I thought that at one point, but they don't. So they're just going to be called the Long brothers from other mothers. So, we'll just leave that at that. But Charles Woodson, safety, he's still out there. You heard me talk about it before. 49ers are interested. The Giants, Jets, Seahawks, and Dolphins. But right now I'm only hearing about the 49ers. Tackle Eric Winston, Eagles, Dolphins, Chargers seem to be the forerunners for his services. He was released by the Kansas City Chiefs, so we're just going to have to wait and see. And my last two, Aqib Talib and Nnamdi Asomugha. So Aqib played for the Patriots. I don't look for the Patriots to re-sign him, especially if he wants more than they're willing to offer. Let's face it, we just saw what happened to Wes Welker, and he was loyal to them. So look for the Redskins to pick him up, especially after they are without their Pro Bowl corner, D'Angelo Hall. So I look for Hakeem to start with the Redskins. And my last player, Nnamdi Asomugha, there has been interest with the Saints and 49ers. Texans and Cardinals have some interest, but as far as I'm concerned, the only three that are in my mind are the 49ers, Texans, and Saints. And Nnamdi, if you want to start for a contender, I would say go to either the 49ers or the Saints. And the reason being is the Texans are a great team. They made the playoffs again for the second year in franchise history, but they have still got a long way to go to me as far as their offense with Matt Schaub. He didn't show up last season as much as we liked him to. So I would say the 49ers and Saints should be the ones that Nnamdi should go to. But like I said, we'll see. And that's going to do it for day 2. Whew, it's wild and crazy, guys. So keep it locked here. Like I said, follow me on Eric Hicks at Eric Hicks 23 on Twitter. I'm still getting used to it, guys. On my YouTube page, subscribe to my channel. Give me any comments. Let me know what you think about day 2 of free agency. Let me know what you think about the other free agents that are out there. If there's some I forgot to miss, guys, let me know because I want to hear what you got to say. Until next time, I'm Eric Hicks bringing you the sports that you love. I'll see you when I see you.